duperty hard. The hills that I trained on around here aren't that big. So they're like our hills around here on steroids going up these hills. And I learned really fast because normally when I do my hills, I like start and I can stand up and pedal and I can like be 1, 2, 3 and I can make it to 20, 25, sometimes 30 rotations standing up. And yeah, that would get you like a quarter of the way up some of these hills. So I had to figure out a different way to do the hills, and everybody was sitting down. So they sat down, they put it in their lowest gear and just grinded it out going up these hills. It was crazy.
No.
After the first day, I was just like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? But made it through the first day. So actually, let's go back to the very beginning. We get there, and there's a big open field. There's tents. We're like, we don't know what to do. So we just grabbed our gear out of our car. We went over. We found a spot, and Josh is like, we have to be respectful of other people around us. We don't want to take up too much space. And yeah, you have to be respectful, but the tents are just like crammed in there. So we didn't really have to worry about that as much as Josh was worried about that. And granted, I like set up my tent for the first time the night before we left. And it's not my tent, I borrowed it from my nephew. So, but figured all that out, camped the first night in a tent that's very short. So it's hard getting dressed for a 57-year-old woman trying to get dressed in like a 3-foot tent. So yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there, but figured it out, did good. We did our first ride. It was 40 miles. Second ride was only like 40 miles. I'm like, I got this. I can do it. But then the third day, holy heck, it was 82 miles with double the amount of hills. So, but I made it through that day too. Happy to be done on that day. And the fourth day, 75 miles. That day darn near broke me. I thought, I can't do this. I darn near had a little meltdown. Not in front of Josh. That's what Leah said. She's like, did Josh take care of you? And I'm like, no, I just went in my tent. I went in my tent and cried and texted my friend, and she gave me a pep talk. And then I'm like, okay, I can do it.
Oh my God.
So it was a little bit, it was a lot. So, but made it through the fifth day. The sixth day is when my knee started hurting, like 20 miles to go. And then I only had 40 miles to go. And so I made it. I did not do Snake Alley, which was the very last hill. We were talking to somebody in camp the night before, and he's just like, you don't want to do that. If your knees are hurting, because I was saying that my knee was hurting, he's like, it's on cobblestone. I just decided, you know what? I don't want to hurt my knee any more than it was already hurt. So I was just like, I'm going to skip that. And Josh said, yep, I'm good. So didn't do Snake Alley. It was a pretty incredible experience. It was a lot of people. So you're biking along, and all of a sudden and there's a lot of people. Like my mom posted a picture. You posted a picture that had like people going up a hill.
Mm-hmm. That was the first day.
So that was, that's what the hills looked like. And in the beginning, there was always that many people, usually leaving stops. There was a lot of people. Sometimes I did feel like Josh, he's faster than me. So he did go ahead of me, and then he waited when he got to towns. But yeah, sometimes I was like, I don't think there's anyone on my tail. And there's people way in front of me. So I did feel semi-alone occasionally. But that was okay. I was just kind of in my own little zone, pedaling along, getting there at my own speed. Because you wouldn't believe the bikes that we saw. We saw, I don't know what it's called, but we saw one of the bikes with the big front wheel and the little back wheel.
Yeah, what is that
And the
called?
guy's sitting up there really tall. I don't know what that bike is called, but then I was talking to somebody in camp one night and they were like, yeah, the pedals are on that front wheel. So like on a regular bike, you're pedaling and you have brakes up here on your handlebars. And this guy, he is pedaling and it's connected to his front wheel. So if he brakes, he stops.
So how does he get off that thing? Did you see?
Well, I don't know how he gets off that thing, but I'm worried more about how he's going down hills on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, so the hills, going downhill, when I go down hills,
And you were going
here,
really fast.
Yeah, when I go down hills local, I'm putting my brakes on almost the whole way. Here, I went down hills way more comfortably. Beyond my comfort zone of going down hills. Because that's just what you have to do. Otherwise, you're causing an accident because of all the people that are coming behind you. So.
Get out of the way or get run over, right?
I stayed over to the right a whole lot. Like, a whole lot. Like, I got over to the right. Everybody, when they're passing, is supposed to say on your left, or sometimes people pass on the right, and I passed on the right too, but then you say on your right. But I heard a lot of on your left, on your left, on your left.
I can't do that because I can't hear.
So yeah, it was very fun going through these little towns. Like, we went through a town that had 144 people, and there was like thousands of bikers. So you're coming up to this town and everybody's saying slowing, 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 and then all of a sudden stopping, and then biker off, and then you walk through these little towns, and there's food trucks, and you're getting food or whatever. Oh, it's raining.
Thunder, yeah.
So, anyways, am I doing it next year? So, am I doing it next year? Actually, midway through, I was saying, I don't know if I'm going to do this next year. Then when I finished, my sister-in-law texted and said, I want to retire so I can do that. And then my other sister-in-law texted and said, yeah, Mike, who's my brother, wants to do it. So we should do a team.
Okay, and we should raise money, Sarah, when we do that.
Well, we'll talk about that when we get there.
Okay.
So that's putting the cart before the horse. Or the horse before the cart.
Susan Gardner said, I hope they paid you to do this crazy race
No.
and not the other way around.
No, you had to pay to do it. And there was like a ton of volunteers. I don't know who gets paid from it. But yeah, you did pay a registration fee. And there's just a ton of volunteers. So no, I would probably do it again. I would like to do it in the northern route or the middle route. Because the southern is the hilliest, which is what they don't go south that often. And the middle one is the flattest, and the top one, there's more hills like as you get to the Mississippi. So I will probably do it again if like family's doing it again. So we'll see. I probably will. What else was I going to say?
There was even a little 4 or 5-year-old that did it the
there were
first
some
day.
little kids that did
Yeah.
it. There was little kids that passed me, but no shame in that. You just keep pedaling. Oh my gosh. Tons of tandem bikes. So a lot of tandem bikes. I think I saw one triple bike, like with a dad and 2 kids. A bride and a groom were on their honeymoon. So U.S. Air Force, kudos to them. They had a cycling team, and I read about it. They have like 145 people, and they were like, if somebody had a chain off or a flat tire or was hurt, they were like Johnny on the spots over on the side with them. I was like, wow, they are everywhere. So I was like, knock on wood, my chain didn't fall off, my bike tire didn't go flat, because I wouldn't have known how to do it. But those U.S. Air Force guys were like all over it and helping people on the side of the road. So they were like awesome. They didn't help me, but I saw them helping so many people. A few crashes, which is kind of bad. I was very worried about crashes, so when I was going down hills, like, I made sure that I had lots of room in front of me. So anyways, it was quite the experience. Talked to a lot of people along the way, I'd be riding and somebody would pull up next to me, or vice versa. I'd pull up to somebody, and just that helped the time go by. Going through these little towns and I didn't get any pictures, but I stopped. One day I was like, that's it, Josh. I'm stopping at every lemonade stand I see. And I did. I stopped at a whole bunch of little kid lemonade stands that were selling. One little siblings, they were selling lemonade for like 50 cents. And then she's like, do you want a bracelet? I'm like, sure. And she had assigned bracelets for $1. And so I went to give her $1, and she's like, no, it's free with your lemonade. And I'm like, well, here's $1 anyway.
Is that the day you ran out of money because you were giving so much away?
I did run out of money one day. I did run out of money one day.
Did you meet anybody from other countries?
I did not meet anybody from other countries, but I saw people, and people passed me a lot, so I like overheard conversations, so I could tell that they were from different countries. So I didn't meet anybody from different countries, but.
See, Lizzie Crean said, how about Sue doing it with you? And I said, yes, if we can tandem with someone else.
Yes, you need a tandem.
I need a tandem, so who draws the short straw?
I don't know. But, so, yeah, it was fun. It was quite the experience. I had my tears partway through, not knowing if I could do it. But I did it. I'm pretty happy.
Oh, we're so glad you're safe and no accidents. Maybe we will see you in the Olympics at 2028. Yeah, Heather, well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, I was happy to do it with Josh. Josh and I had a few tense moments when we're carrying, because you had to carry your gear. So, I mean, it's one thing to be, just doing the biking. And I think I said this on one of my lives, that doing the biking, like if I would have had my coffee in the morning, been sitting on my couch, then went out and rode my 70 miles, come home, take a nice shower. But then when you added the whole camping aspect into it, where you're, getting dressed in a 3-foot tent, you're going to porta potties, you're packing up a wet tent because it's still wet in the morning. And then you're getting it out so it dries, and then you're finding a shower truck. They had showers, so people showered at high schools, at YMCA's. They had shower trucks. One city converted a car wash to showers. I didn't do that, but one city did that, and people said, yeah, it was really cool. They had like little stalls in there and stuff. So all these towns that just converted over for RAGBRAI was like pretty amazing. So, and the people.
And some had sprinklers that you could
run under. People would have their hose, and you'd go by them and you'd be like that, and they'd spray you with their hose. Or passing out. There was quite a few free stands, but there were people charging too. Josh and I tried to hit a lot of community centers, fire stations. They were all serving, and a lot of them were like free will donations, so you could just donate whatever you wanted to. And then they had the food trucks that kind of followed the route. But we tried to hit a lot of the, the community, the local community things. Like everybody was probably from Iowa, but we tried to hit a lot of the local communities that we were going through. So, anyways, I'm back. I've been having a hard time getting creatively motivated. I posted a picture of skillet throwing in one of the cities, and Kathy Dunn said, I bet there's going to be a card with a skillet. I don't have a skillet stamp or a skillet die. I'll have to find one. But anyways, let's go on to today. And I do thank you guys all. I haven't even made it through all the comments. And I know I said I was going to post right after, and Sunday I was poop soup. And
wonder why.
Then on Monday it was just like back to the grind. I got work to do. So, but I am going to get to all the comments. But I did read quite a few of them as they were coming in. My mom had one gal was at a volunteer, and it was a new customer, so I met her because my mom alerted me to her post. But yeah, I appreciate all the support and all the well wishes and all the encouragement. Because I needed that to get up and down those hills and get to the end. So I really do appreciate you guys all following me on the journey. because it was quite the journey. So
we were in tears too, Sarah, watching you and feeling
Oh,
for
my
you.
gosh.
Oh my goodness sakes.
so let's go down to the table.
Okay.
I have to the warehouse sale classes I am going to post, and I wanted to post them and pull them up on my computer so I could show you. So I think at the very end we're going to talk about them, because I needed to post them in order to I want to I want to blow that up so I can show you the different ordering options, because it gets a little bit confusing. So I'm going to set my iPad aside. We're going to make a quicker card, and then we are going to go onto the warehouse sale. So you have to watch me for just a little bit.
Okay, one quick question.
Keep the questions coming. That's perfectly fine.
How's your knee?
Oh, my knee actually feels better. So, I have not been on a bike. I had a card here. Okay. I have not been on my bike. I am planning on still riding my bike to work starting next week.
Okay.
So I just want to keep the momentum going of riding my bike, and when it's nice. So I'm still planning on riding my bike to work. I'm not going to go out of my way and do an extra 16 miles so I can hit some hills and stuff like that. Just not doing that.
And then in inclement weather, you'll still be on your Peloton.
Yes. In the winter, I'm going to Peloton it. But yeah, I'm going to keep up because I've got a wedding coming up. Leah is getting married in October, and I've had a goal for that. So anyways, yes, I am going to keep on my bike. So next week, I will let you know how my knee is, because walking and sitting, it's fine. It's that bicycling motion, every time it does this, it hurt. So that's why I was just like, I am not going to go up Snake Alley and push it and then be an even more hurting unit than I maybe already was.
Yeah.
So anyways, I pulled a mini slimline shutter card. Why did I pull that? Because I haven't done one in a really long time, and I just thought, okay, we're going to do that. Because shutter cards are sometimes, I'm stenciling on it, but I'm stenciling with it closed, because then you can keep your pattern going all the way across and it lines up. So that's why I thought I would do that.
What mat do you have there, Sarah, and is it magnetic?
This is magnetic. It is a Tonic Studios mat. So, and I'm just going to stencil this background pattern on there. So yeah, any questions about RAGBRAI? I know I just gave you a short little blurb about it. But yeah, definitely ask. It was quite amazing. I mean, it actually makes you feel really good when you can do something that big. And I kind of, I wasn't biking a whole lot before that. So I pretty much went from couch. I mean, I run around here at work, but I wasn't doing any type of exercise regiment. I went from couch to RAGBRAI pretty much the beginning of December. So 8 months. 8 months from couch to RAGBRAI. So that I'm pretty happy with that.
So, Marianne Phillips said, do you carry it?
I don't carry this mat. No, I won this. This was a door prize that I won at a stamping retreat. So now I think the hard part here is going to be lining up so I can do the whole rest of the pattern. So we are doing a stenciling class during the warehouse sale. That's one of the classes. And we're going to layer stencils in that class. Oh, geez, my eyeballs are not functioning.
Penny Blaylock Good for you starting chair yoga. Yesterday I was at Spectrum trying to get a new phone, or was it yesterday? Yes. I waited in line forever. No, that was Wednesday. Or Tuesday. Waited in line forever, and finally they called my name, and I didn't have time to really do what I wanted to do with them, so I made an appointment. But while I was waiting in line, sitting in their uncomfortable big bench, I was doing yoga also, and I had my arms way out, so I had to clear a lot of space.
Yeah.
All these people thought I was crazy lady.
Yeah, I'd say anything that you can do, just start it, be consistent, and everybody is on their own journey. I mean, some of these people I've met people that it was like their 20th year.
Yeah.
In one restaurant, it's like they didn't know that RAGBRAI was happening, and they were totally like underprepared, which was fine. They probably were like, woohoo, we're having a really good night. Anyways, we sat at a table with 2 other groups just because we did.
Yeah.
Because they said, do you mind sitting with strangers if you want to eat soon?
No, I'm strange too, so
Yeah.
go
So let's see how this turned out, because I didn't line it up that good. Oh, I didn't do too bad.
It's wonderful.
Okay, there you go. So, yes, we are doing a stenciling class, and the stencils are optional. So, and I'll get to that. So I'm going to put this aside, that aside. Anyways, I was looking for something that had to do with, I didn't do a great job in here, but that's okay. It's going to take me a while to get back. I have a whole week off, people. No. Anyways, I found this little set of stamps that had the tent, and the tent made me think of RAGBRAI. So I pre-stamped these already with an archival ink, and I'm just going to color them. And I don't know if I've showed you my trick before, where I stamp them and then color them, and then we will stamp them again in black. So I stamped them in black. I'm going to color them, and this one's not stamped that great, and I'm only going to do 3. But anyways, they're not stamped super great, because after we're done coloring them, we're going to stamp them. We're going to re-stamp them in black to get our good outlines. And
So, Sarah, you had to carry your tent and sleeping bag
Oh.
and all that along. What happened? How
No, you have, some people actually did. Like, I met a guy from Omaha, and he was self-contained, and he had 2 bags on the side, plus he had his tent, and he carried everything with him.
Wow.
Yeah, so he said it was like 30 some pounds. No, thank you. So anyways, but otherwise there was a gear truck. So we had to pack our tent up every morning. It had to be under 50 pounds. So Josh and I made sure we were under 50 pounds. And then you had to get it on the gear truck by, oops, I do not have a yellow marker here it is. You had to get it to the gear truck by 8 o'clock.
Oh my goodness.
So the very first night that we were going, and I'll sit here and talk while I'm coloring because I will. So the very first morning, you had to have it by 8 o'clock. So Josh and I said, okay, we're going to get up maybe around 6, and we'll figure it out. Because, we didn't really know exactly what was going on. So we get up. Hang on, I'm looking for markers because I don't have all my markers here with me. I don't know where they are. We got up, and like people are already going. People are like buzzing around like little bees, already doing their thing. So we kind of felt like, oh man, we're like taking our time here. We're kind of like late to the party. But so we got up that morning. That was our first morning taking down our tents. So we were not knowing exactly, how this is all going. And we got our tent down, and we felt like we weren't the last ones out of camp, but we were, we felt like there's a lot of open space here, where the night before it was pretty jam-packed. So anyways, we got going around 8 or so that morning, and it took us until about 2, and we made it to camp, and then we're like, okay, now what do we do? Find the gear truck, because that's what it said to do. It said find the gear truck, then it said go bike and find a campsite, and then it said go back to the gear, park your bike there, and then go back to the gear truck and carry your gear from the gear truck to where you left your bike. So that's what we did. We learned throughout the week. Try to get a spot. Get out of camp early, because then you can get into camp early and you can get a spot that's closer to the gear truck, because you're carrying, one of our bags was 35 pounds, the other one was 48 pounds. Yeah. And one day Josh is like, here, you carry this one. I'm like, no. And he's like, I carried it already. So yeah, we had our little snip about who's going to carry the 48-pound bag. It happened to be grass that day, and I dragged it. And he's like, that's probably not good for it. And I'm like, I don't care.
It was a loving I don't care.
Yeah, it was a loving I don't care. So, oh man, it is interesting with your 28-year-old son.
So I gave you that duffel bag. You mean you pulled it? The duffel bag was that the 48-pounder?
Okay, Josh had a duffel bag of clothes. I had a duffel bag of clothes. Then we put all of our tent. We put our tent, our sleeping pad, our sleeping bags, tent stakes. I'm not doing a great job of coloring.
I'm impressed that you can dance and talk at the same time, or
Yeah.
color.
So, but we put all that in one. So that was the 36-pound one. So then we're trying to figure out how we are going to do our duffel bags, because we only had a duffel bag that was, we only had the 2 duffel bags, and you could only have one bag. So my mom gave us a big blue bag, like this big blue kind of hefty nylon bag, and so we put my duffel bag in there first, and then Josh's duffel bag, and that was like the 48-pound one. So yeah, it was interesting. But yes, we got smarter through the week and realized, oh, that's why people leave early. They leave early so they can get into camp early, so they can.
So they don't have as far to carry crap. Huh?
Correct.
So Sarah, does Josh want to do it again too?
I think Josh would do it again. I did ask Josh, okay, so we were watching The Amazing Race, like after we got home, and I'm like, I really want to do Amazing Race. And he's like, well, who would you do it with? And I said, you. And he kind of was like, yeah, no. He's like, you should do that with Beecher from Impression Obsession. I'm like, I would totally do it with Beecher from Impression Obsession. So, anyways, yeah, it was an adventure. Oh, and a lot of people go and like listen to bands and do all that stuff. So our excitement was we would go to the public library. Almost not every night, but a few nights we went to the public library, because the other thing that was at a premium was electrical charging stations. Everybody wanted to charge their electrical, or their phones, their e-bikes, because there were some e-bikes. They needed to charge their battery packs. So yeah, charging stations were at a premium. So Josh is like, let's go to the public library, because we could charge our stuff there. So he's pretty resourceful. So we did. We went to the public library a couple nights. One night I went to the back of a church, found an open outlet with a bunch of people sitting by it to charge their stuff. We got lucky one other night where nobody noticed an outlet. That's where I met the guy from Omaha. So, anyways, now that these are colored, I'm going to take a VersaFine, what am I taking? A VersaFine Clear. And it's a nice juicy one. And I'm going to stamp over the top. Now, as long as you kept everything lined up, then you get nice, good, crisp lines. And I did pick orange a lot because orange was a RAGBRAI color, and orange was the color that I had on my tent. So I have that, and then I had these little like film strippy frame type things. So my plan, I should have like laid them out how I wanted them before, but I didn't. So that's okay. I'm still getting in the swing of doing this. So I might have to trim this down more after I figure out how it's going to actually, because I don't know if I want to put it straight on or I want to make them crooked. I think I almost want to make it crooked. So what I'm going to do is, this is the little square that came out of here. I am going to just take it and place it on there crooked, and then I'm going to cut it with a slight border so I have room to attach it. Then we'll get on to warehouse sale pretty soon after I finish this little card. So that's going to be the top one. And then we've got the other two.
Did you read my comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, wicked mother.
So my brother and sister-in-law, they actually, there's a little bit of logistics stuff to figure out. So we started on one side of the state and you end on the other side of the state. Now there's charters that you can get on to take across the state. But we drove to one side of the state, and then my brother and sister-in-law picked up my car in Glenwood, and they drove it to Burlington, which was the end state, or the end city. And along the way, like I said, we stopped in Greenfield, which is where the tornado was. So that was very...
Wow,
yeah.
I can't believe they did that.
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
There, a lot of money was raised. Because they had stuff going on in the center of town, and it was quite amazing. I mean, it was just to see the devastation. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine going through that.
Where was that, in Springfield?
No, that was in Greenfield.
Greenfield, okay.
Greenfield. So they were the meetup town. So Jenny and Mike met us in the meetup town, and we had lunch. So, like, just for a approximate time, like our 40 miles took us 6 hours, because you had to walk through these towns for sure, and our 80-mile day took me 10 hours. Josh, it took a little bit less, but whatever. So I'm gonna attach these two together. Okay, so I'm gonna attach these in here. And I don't know what I'm going to use. Let's see. Oh, I did remember to put my lid on my glue thing before I...
Wow, that tornado killed 5 people and injured another 35.
Yeah, it did a tremendous amount of damage.
Oh. That happened on May 21st, so it was like 8 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Brave people.
Yeah, it was quite... Because the route took us through the devastation path, or at least one of them. And, yeah, it was... Yeah. It was just... It was a lot. I mean, even way more for the people that went through it, but...
Yeah.
Kind of brings you back to reality, you know, being thankful for what you have. Okay, so now this one I am going to cut in half.
So the winds that went through with that tornado topped 300 miles an hour.
Wow.
300 miles an hour.
All right.
How big is that city?
Do the Amazing Race. So my daughter-in-law asked me, she's like, what about Survivor? Do you watch Survivor? And I'm like, I love Survivor. I think I could do Survivor too.
No.
So, okay. So now I got these mostly done. I am going to turn them over and attach these two postage stamps like that. So I am going to take a piece of white paper and just connect. I want to cover up my little holes here, and then I'm just going to connect it to the front of the card. So I'm going to cover up those little holes, and then I'm going to cover them up on the other side. Actually, I'm going to cut a little bit bigger piece. There we go. Now I got it going on. And this is just an easier card. I just needed to get back into it a little bit instead of with a bang. And actually it's probably taking longer than I thought it would, but that's okay. Then I get to spend more time with you all, and we will get to warehouse sale classes in just a minute. Because I'm going to go hijack the computer my mom's on for a minute. I'm going to I'm actually going to get them posted, but then if you want to wait for just a minute before you start ordering, because they're not going to sell out that fast. So just give it a minute so I can, I want to, just touch base on what you're seeing and what.
Stephanie votes for Amazing Race for you, Sarah.
Hang on 1 second. Yeah, I think Mitra has traveled so much, she would probably be a great person to do that with. Okay, so I just made this little guy, and I'm just going to attach it to my shutter card. I'm going to use just regular adhesive. Yeah, I'm just going to use regular adhesive. So I'm putting tape only down one side. And I'm just going to attach that. And then I'm going to see if I can do a word. So nothing like earth-shattering today.
Earth-shattering happened last week.
Yeah, earth-shattering was last week. That's right.
So I danced all last week.
Did you?
Oh, I just danced and danced and danced my heart out.
So let's see.
When I wasn't on watching you and posting and trying to snag pictures from other people. And
So I am just going to do Enjoy the Journey. Then we will go on to warehouse sale, because I know you guys all want to know what's going on with there. I don't have a ton. I mean, it took me everything just to get some stuff posted. So I have the links that you can order. I don't have samples posted. I mean, not a shocker, considering I don't think anyone's shocked by that. So yes, there aren't samples posted.
Heck, Sarah, we're just glad you're here and online with us today.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here too. I did not go like last ones. I didn't post as much live as I wanted to, because the connections were were terrible on a few of the days. And then on Wednesday was the day that I was just poop soup, besides when I got home. But I was like, I'm going to cry if I go online, so I did not do that.
We would have all hugged you. You know that.
I was just having a very emotional day.
Mm.
So, anyways, let me see. I want to find a little bit of orange just to back this with. But yeah, that's why I didn't go live on Wednesday, because I was just
Yeah.
like, oof.
People from the dance studio were really interested in what you were doing too.
Oh, really?
We talked about it, watched it, and showed you off a lot.
Uh-huh. Well, nice. Thank you.
Matter of fact, one of the gals said she has a friend that has done it multiple times.
Mm-hmm. All right, so hang on. I'm just going to attach this, and then I know I keep saying that I will go on to the warehouse sale. We'll get there in just a minute. If I was doing this, I would put like little orange. I mean, I am doing this, but if I had them available, I think I would add some little blingy onto there. Some little orange gems or orange something. So let me just attach this. Not my favoriteest card, but
Well, Stephanie said it would make a great guy card. So
yeah, yeah. I think I would add some glitter to the yellows and stuff. I need to glitter it up or something. It's breaking me back into my creative mode. Getting my creative mojo back.
Well, here I am on Sarah's computer. I have two computers that aren't working. My old one, my new one, and then I got a new phone, and that's giving me fits right now. Oh, I am technically challenged.
And you're pretty tech savvy.
I know, but oh, Sarah,
I know,
it was frustrating for me this week.
Okay, so just hang tight with me 1 second while I'm going to actually post them, and then I'm going to pull them up on my computer so I can show you. So just give me 1 second.
You're coming over
I'm
here?
coming over there for just
All
a
right.
minute. I just have to hit active for a
Hold
minute.
on. I had both of these going at one time, so we'll just minimize that.
Okay, I'm still here with you. Kind of. No, I am. So, because there's different things that you need to hit if you're doing this. Oh, shoot. Hang on 1 second.
All that thunder and hardly any rain.
Okay. And if you notice anything weird, let me know, because I'm going to go home and I am going to be watching this at home or making changes. So if you're like, hey, Sarah, this seems off, then let me know, because then I can get it corrected right away. Okay, almost there. Products, filters, search, enter. Okay. Oops, that. Okay, so You're back at that one, Mom.
Okay. Yep.
And here is.
Oops.
No, it's okay. There's that.
Okay.
All right. So if I did everything right, let me get back to my phone so I can see what I'm doing. All right.
Penny, has your black screen cleared up?
All right. So, anyways, classes like normal, okay? And then when you're on the class page, you see in-person and virtual. Okay, so these top two are the all-in bundle. If you are virtual, you're going to click on the green one. And then the price for all 4 classes, so it's cards, cards, cards. We're doing an alcohol, ink, and beyond pouncing. Sparkly Christmas, so that's 4 Christmas cards. And a brush blending and stenciling class. So that's $105. The one thing, so if you want to wait to order, I think you should, because I forgot to adjust the shipping. I forgot to put the shipping option there for $12. So if you go regular right now, it's probably going to charge you more shipping. So hold off and wait a minute. I will adjust it. But there's some optional add-ons. For that alcohol ink class, this blower is an optional add-on. Okay, that's the Tim Holtz blower, which is right there. I also put a none there because sometimes when you click on something, it's hard to make the click disappear unless you hit none. So that's why I have the optional add-on there, and then what you can order, and then a none in case you're like, oh, nope, I don't need that. Then you can just hit none. So the other thing is this alcohol ink little toolkit, which that is these 10 little micro brushes, a little palette, because we're going to put the alcohol ink in a palette. It's 2 little bottles and a little funnel, because you are going to need the 91% alcohol that you can just get at Walmart or at a Walgreens or whatever. So that's what's in that little toolkit, and that's only $6. And there is a picture of it when you go to the alcohol ink class page.
So when is this, Sarah, again?
This is September 16th through the 20th.
Thank you.
Okay. Another optional add-on is this bundle of 3 stencils, which I had them somewhere here over by me. There is a picture of them. Hang on a second. I thought I had them. Well, now they've disappeared. So, but there is a picture of them on the regular, and I'll go to that. And then the other thing that people wanted last year was the make and take kit that we do in person, but some people wanted that. So I put that as an optional add-on. So, so if you don't click anything or you have all of these clicked none, it's $105, but you can add on the blower, the little alcohol ink toolkit for the alcohol ink class, the bundle of 3 stencils for the stencil and blending brush class. Now you can use whatever you have, or you can use the 3 that we're using, and the toolkit. So let's go back out of here. Oops. Home.
Penny, it looks like you're back on now, right?
Okay. So I'm going to, before I get to in person, I'm just going to go, so alcohol inks and beyond. This is the little toolkit. So these little micro brushes, 2 little bottles to dump your alcohol in. I can't ship the alcohol, but to dump it in. And then this little funnel to fill up these tiny little bottles. These are not sized proportionately. So, and again, on this one, if you just wanted the alcohol ink, there's the optional add-on boxes. The virtual metallic Christmas card class, I don't have any samples. There's no optional add-ons. On the brush blending and stencil class, these are the 3 add-on stencils. And again, you have the class price, plus you can order the stencils, and that just changes your class price up there.
Sarah, Stephanie says she's not sure. Is this something they can buy for a virtual class?
Yeah, these are all virtual.
Okay.
Yep, those are all virtual. Those are, yeah, everything that I'm talking about is virtual. I haven't gotten to the in-person yet, except for on the that all-in bundle, there was the option for the make and take kit, which you would do it virtual, but some of the things aren't stamped. So that make and take kit, you can order it, but not everything is stamped because it's the make and take kit that we're doing at the warehouse. So anyways, so this one, again, you can get the 3 stencils with it or not. But yes, that was this virtual all-in bundle where you get all 4 classes, plus you have the optional add-ons. So it says 4 classes because the alcohol ink we're going to do on Monday and Wednesday, like we did last time with the watercolor and the alcohol ink.
Sarah, is this what your email was about, or is that something different?
The email to the auto ship people it just said that this would be coming, but the auto ship people got an email about the August Crafters Classroom.
Okay, thank you.
So let's go back to, so we had the all-in bundle, or you could order the 4 classes separate. And then you get to the 2 August classes at the bottom. The people, auto ship people, I sent an email asking if you wanted this stencil. So if you're an auto ship person, you got an email from me asking if you wanted the stencil included.
Okay, Sarah, do you need the stencils to make the card?
To make the exact cards, you need the stencils, okay? And I don't have the samples yet, but if you have stencils, like an assortment of stencils, and you just want to use what you have, that's perfectly fine. If you want to make the exact cards, then you do need the stencils. Like, we're going to layer this stencil together and this stencil together, and the polka dots and the stripes together. So it just depends if you want to do exact cards or if you are fine just saying, hey, I've got a bazillion stencils and I'm just going to use this one. So
okay, Nancy Cloud wants to know oops, wait a minute, what is the August Crafters Classroom Kit?
The August Crafters Classroom Kit, again, I don't have the samples done. I am going to be a very busy girl tomorrow. It is Furry Friends. I actually have some of the die cutting done because I know I'm using it. But the August Crafters Classroom this stencil is optional. We're using these 2 stamp sets and those 2 dies. So it's mostly centered around cats and dogs. But like for this card, you also get the hedgehogs and the little beavers. So that's the August Crafters Classroom. The August Fun Time Thursday is this impossible card that's like this, and it folds up to make like a stand-up card. So
thank you.
So I'm just going to talk about the in-person, but if you guys have questions on virtual, let me know. This is in-person. So Nancy YB, we were talking about the September classes, and they're posted now. You're going to want to be on virtual. This in-person, which is red, is just for people that are coming to the warehouse. And I just want to touch on this for a little bit because there's all different choices over here on what you can do. So in person, we do a 10 o'clock in the morning class is our alcohol ink class. And then our 1 to 4 class is our cards. Now, both of these classes, the main 2 classes, are taught virtually too. So some people will literally start the class and then be like, nope, I want to go shopping. And then you can still, or they won't assemble their cards because they can always assemble them virtually. So these top 2 classes, our main 2 classes for the in-person, are also taught virtually. So you can come, you can do instruction, you can do some of your cards, you can do all of your cards, you can just do the pieces and then assemble them during virtual, up to you. But so we have our alcohol ink and our cards. Then you have an option for both both of those because you get a small discount. Then you have our make and take evening, which is from 5 to 9, and it's a kit with all 8 cards, which during the sale there's normally only 6, so you get extra cards with the make and take evening. Or you can get all 3 in person, which are the alcohol, the cards, and the make and take evening. Or you get lots of choices. You have the all-in bundle. Say you want to do the in-person, plus you want to do the extra 2 virtual. You have the all-in bundle, which is the 2 in-person plus the 2 additional virtual classes. But say you want to do the make and take too. You can get the all-in bundle with the make and take evening. So you have choices there. The other important thing is cards is both offered on Friday and on Saturday. Saturday is a much smaller group. It's very relaxed. We kind of are chill and yeah, so that one's from 1 to 4. Usually we fill this one to 36. This one I usually only have about 12 people, so it's very, very chill and relaxing.
Okay, a couple questions.
Okay, one more thing.
Okay.
On our in-person, we also have the option of our three things. You can get the blower, you can get the alcohol ink toolkit, or the bundle of stencils for the virtual class. I will have some of these at the table, but you might have to share. Your little alcohol ink toolkit at $6, you might want your own, because then I didn't put it as part of the kit because some people may have the stuff, but you might want to add that little, if you're taking the alcohol class, you might want to add that little toolkit on. And don't add the blower if you already have one, but I will have a few available, but you won't have to share the little supplies if the little toolkit was only $6. So, okay, questions. Let's go to questions.
Penny Blaylock asks, do the stamp sets come with the kit?
No, stamp sets do not come with the kit.
Brenda Fry said, have kits for August Crafters Classroom been mailed yet?
No, they're going to mail on Monday.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Nancy YB says, I hope to come to the warehouse again.
Awesome.
I'm traveling, and so is my friend who came with last year. Can't register for about 10 days.
Okay. Yeah, you might want to register, Nancy. And if you register via credit card, that's the easier because I can wait to receive it. So you might want to, or email me or call me tomorrow, Nancy, and we can talk about that, because in person sometimes fills up. So I'd rather have you register. And if you can pay by credit card, that's easier to refund or to just void it than PayPal. But then if you find out in 10 days that you can't, then it'll just open up, and I usually will have a wait list. Because cards is the one that usually fills.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, so just remember, if you're virtual, you want green. If you're in person, you want red. There's more choices on the in-person. And if you have any problems, because I know my website's being a pain in the patootie, and my mom and I are working on it, you just let us know. You can email me. I'll watch the order that stuff comes in. And virtual is not a problem. I shouldn't run out. Well, actually, I did run out one year, but it won't sell out tonight. So that's not a problem for virtual. It's the in-person cards that might. So anyways, unless I have any more questions, I'm going to go home. I'm going to be on my computer. If you notice anything weird, let me know. Wait for shipping, because I don't check out yet. I am going to go to the shipping right now when I get off, and I'm going to change that. So give me like 5 minutes. You should see an option there for warehouse sale class kits for $12. So anyways, okay, bye guys. You guys have a great night. Let me know if you have any questions or problems, and we will talk to you later. So Robin, I placed 2 orders today. Can you combine them? Yes. If you pay by credit card, it's very easy for me to combine orders and adjust the shipping. If you pay by PayPal, it's harder to do a refund, and there's refund fees. So sometimes that's when I ask you that if you want to add on product to offset that. But credit card, it's really easy for me to just adjust the final capture amount. So, anyways, thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Okay.
Did you stop?